One of the things I've been encouraged to do is to think about how I came to where I am. What was it about my upbringing that led to my self-sabotage tendencies? Now, I didn't realise until later in my life that I had quite a challenging upbringing. My stepdad was a petty crook, in and out of jail. My two brothers were taken into care. I just thought they were problem kids, but it turns out that social services believed that my parents were incapable of looking after 4 children. Yes, my brothers were problem kids. I don't think I was any different. To some extent, I don't know why I wasn't taken into care as well. But I didn't realise until years later how difficult it was, how challenging it was, how much arguably neglect there was in our family. There were plenty of times when we went to school without breakfast because there wasn't any food. Having said that, the old man always managed to find the money to go for a pint at the pub on lunchtime on Sundays, and my mum managed to go to bingo every week. They always managed to find the money to buy cigarettes and tobacco. And now, I'm not trying to get your sympathy here, I'm just trying to paint a bit of a picture. So I kind of grew up in an environment where there was no morality, really, no sense of ethics, the right and wrong was quite different for me as it was for many people. So in my early teens, I got into petty crime. At not one point did my parents tell me that I shouldn't be doing it. The police and the magistrates had other ideas. And again, it was that upbringing, what's right and wrong. And there was no real right and wrong. It was, you just did what you did. Now, fast forward, and I realised I kind of grew up with a sense of I can do what I want. There's no one here to tell me different. No one here to tell me that I'm wrong. No one here to tell me that I shouldn't be doing this stuff. And sadly, that's led to me believing that normal rules don't apply. That I can just do what I want, crap all over whoever I like, and just walk away. And life isn't like that. There are always consequences. There is always a price to pay for wrongdoing. And the price is that, as an adult, I've realised that the highest price has been relationships. I'm living here in Fiji. I don't want to be here in Fiji. I don't have a great deal of money. I've just got myself an apartment. Looks like I'm going to be here a while. It's not where I want to be. And I know I've said that. But I'm reminded every day that I'd much rather be somewhere else. And it's difficult because I'm just trying to cope. I was also working on me, making me into a better person, even if just a less messed up person. My therapist tells me, yes, I've messed up, but I'm not messed up. But oftentimes that's not how I feel. I've made a bloody mess. I've made a mess consistently. But the reason why I've been examining my background, how it is I could possibly have come to this, is because it may help me to understand how it started, and hopefully I'll develop a way to get beyond it. I realised that when my parents, several years back, that when I realised that my parents didn't do a very good job, I was angry, as you could possibly imagine, frustrated. How could they as adults just be so selfish? And I realised, sadly, they passed on a lot of that selfishness to me, and also my brothers. And it isn't good. It's not good at all. So I've had to learn to forgive my parents. Forgive my parents for being human. Acknowledging that whilst they were far from perfect, they arguably did the best they knew at the time. And I'm just going to have to put that behind me and focus on me. Focus on me going forward. I've got to get over this little outlet here without getting my shoes too wet and dropping my phone. So I've had to start to come to terms with the mess that arguably my upbringing has created. Now, I know that I make my own decisions, and as an adult I am responsible for my actions, but the pattern in my view was started very early on. The feeling that I could do anything, go anywhere, piss off anybody, and not have to face any consequences. And that's where I'm at on this at the moment. Yes, I had a messy, crappy, arguably neglected upbringing. Been doing some reading, and it's possible that I suffer from abandonment issues. The interesting thing is that we grew up and we didn't realise that we were poor. We didn't realise that it was such a mess. We didn't realise that, we didn't have what a lot of other people did. We just saw this as normal. But I guess my two brothers being taken into care was not normal. I'm going to have to take a running jump here. Bear with me. Oh. So, yes, I've got to face the fact that my upbringing was crappy. My parents didn't do a very good job, and the upshot is that my life is messy as a result. And I'm going to have to learn to properly forgive my parents, move on, and focus on me, focus on my decisions, think through things a little bit more. Not easy when you're battling against a lifelong pattern, and I'm talking several decades worth of pattern here, and inbuilt behaviour. But that's what I've got to do. The good thing is I can, at least here in Fiji, begin to take my time, think about what I'm doing, where I'm going, try and think through decisions I make. Not easy. It's been quite stressful here. Although I'm, technically in a tropical paradise, I'm trying to make my way. I'm trying to get by every day. I've had a bit of help, don't get me wrong. Thankful to my housemates, they've been brilliant. In fact, more than brilliant, but they've been absolutely amazing. And my partner Angela has done her best from Auckland. And but it's all up to me ultimately. Yes, I can get help. Yes, I have access to help, but I've got to get to grips with this. I've got to realise that I need to move on. I need to grow up, do things that grown-ups do in a grown-up way. That's where I am.